Welcome to this Houston Newsmakers Extra. I am joined by Roger Adamson, the CEO of the George Foundation. We've been talking about the challenges of the changes of the roadway, the Grand Parkway. I will tell you that over this period of time, since we've been talking and talked to all sides, I feel like I could write a book.
Me too.
I'm not sure about all the acronyms and that sort of thing. But what it comes down to is that the road that you had planned for and a lot of people have planned for now has a different direction. You've protested about this, but you are in a position where you can't lobby. So how do you try to make this right the way you see it should be?
Yeah, so I think that the George Foundation will continue to stand our ground for what we believe is right, and at this point, it's really in the hands of the Commissioner's Court with the agreement. But the George Foundation, regardless of what happens, what I can assure you is that the George Foundation will continue to pursue our mission to support Fort Bend County nonprofits and Fort Bend County students. And as I'd mentioned earlier, our asset management is important to us. So in the long term, when we think about long-term sustainability and grant-making capacity, any dollars that are relinquished, any value that's relinquished through our real estate is funds that we can't reinvest in Fort Bend County, and that's why we're passionate about it. Right. That's why we care about it. Right. We're not in the real estate business, but we are in the asset management business.
And that's interesting too, because you're not in a position, you don't do development stuff.
No,
you don't do development.
Not at all.
So the way it's planned now, that they changed it and now it's on this other property, there are intersections that cross, and typically along those intersections, the value of the land around those intersections increases.
Right.
One big intersection is the Fort Bend Toll Road. There are going to be other intersections as well.
Sure.
The Commissioner's Court, I understand, asked for your George Foundation and the Signorelli Company to try to work out some kind of compromise. Did you compromise, or did they compromise? Was there a conversation? What happened?
So there were conversations about a compromise. And I use quotes on that. I mean, the biggest piece is myself and our board of trustees, we have a fiduciary duty to effectively manage the foundation's assets. And again, going back to the record of decision 2013 Grand Parkway, and offering 14 miles of right-of-way at no cost. The planning that had occurred for 25 years was the location of that key intersection is on George Foundation property, and so to be asked to compromise and relocate the intersection, after someone purchases a property 18 months before that, is really not in the best interest of the foundation to compromise when the record of decision and the planning and the documents for 25 years before that had that key intersection located on foundation property.
So I looked up some of the information, the MTP, which is the Metro Thoroughfare Plan. At some point, it was on record as having the intersection of the Grand Parkway and the Fort Bend Toll Road, where that property, the Signorelli plan is. I mean, it was there. It was on record as there. And so they bought their property based upon that. So, right. Yeah. So could this be a mistake by the county that nobody wants to own up to, and then nobody knows how to make it right, and they're not talking about it, so we don't know?
Yeah, Canberra, you're accurate. That's a true statement, and we don't know because again, there's been zero communication, not an email, not a phone call, and so your guess is as good as mine.
I'm waiting to hear back from the Fort Bend County Engineering. If you do call me back, I'll make sure I put it on the website, because up to now I just have this, which indicates that they moved it, and I want to know why they did that and took forward. Is there, in this case, regardless of how this turns out, and obviously you want it to turn out where you get that intersection back where you are,
sure.
With the development of that size, anywhere close to where you are, does that raise the value of your property so that you can actually win in this ball game a little bit as well, or not?
Canberra, there's no question that the construction of the Grand Parkway Segment C will benefit all landowners in western Fort Bend County. I mean, the enhanced mobility, what's good for Fort Bend County is good for the George Foundation, and so there's no doubt about that. Again, where our concern was zero communication, the offering 14 miles of right-of-way at no cost to taxpayers, and now taxpayers are going to have to foot the bill for that, which we believe could be in excess of $100 million. And then thirdly, this transfer of value up to $500 million from the foundation, from our charitable mission, from the future grant-making capacity to adjacent property, with really no explanation, and that's where our concern lies.
How do you see this ending?
Cambrell, I don't know, but all I do know is the foundation. We're going to continue to pursue our mission, and we're going to continue to make grants to local nonprofits. We're going to continue to award scholarships to local high-performing students, targeting first-generation students and economically disadvantaged students. So however this may unfold, I can rest assured that the foundation is pursuing our mission to the fullest extent.
Well, you've been an amazing part of Fort Bend County for many years. What you do is beyond repute. You can't do anything about that. So, is there a bad guy in this? I mean, the developer who's doing what he's doing based upon what a map that he saw. I mean, he's not necessarily a bad guy, but somebody's got to take the responsibility for this change. And so far, nobody's doing it, and you're not hearing from them to get that information.
So, yeah, I mean, the Signorelli company, they have obviously high quality developments in the Houston area. Little communication from Fort Bend County, or really no communication, so I can't speak to that. And in terms of good guy, bad guy, all I know is that the George Foundation, we want to do what's right. And so we'll continue to pursue our mission and work as hard as we can to support Fort Bend County, and how things play out is we'll see down the road.
Good deal. Roger Adamson, CEO of the George Foundation, Newsmakers Extra. Share this with everybody you know.